Hi everyone, welcome to Lily by Becca. Today I'm actually making my first cold process soap. I thought I'd take you along while I did it so you can see the process of it. I know that people make soap all the time on YouTube, but I wanted to make soap where it was like, have you ever seen someone make it for the first time? So I'm making goat milk soap, and it also has a few other cool ingredients in it. So we'll see how it goes and come along with me.
Here we go. Okay, so this is some of my Babassu oil. It's more like a butter, but it is what I use in the place of coconut oil. I have trouble with the scent of coconut oil myself. Coconut oil is also considered comedogenic, so it's supposed to be able to clog pores, which is why I also chose Babassu oil. And this is olive oil, so we all know what that is, but I am measuring them very precisely whenever I did my research on doing soap making. It was very popular that you have to be very precise. So I am trying to be very precise. This is shea butter. I have never really worked with shea butter before, and I really like the consistency of it. It reminded me of almost like I was pulling out ice cream, but yep, so this is me just measuring it all out and then putting it into my silver bowl over there. So I have each one measured very distinctly. I really wanted to show my process, how it was. Having not done soap like this before, I really wanted to see what it was like for someone who is making this type of soap, because sometimes you just want to see the real, you know, like doing the whole process. And most all of what I did, I put in here. I didn't edit it too much other than just things that took really long. This right here is Kokum butter, and it's very hard butter. So I picked this one because I wanted my bar of soap to be somewhat hard as well as being soft. So I wanted it to last a long time, which is one reason why I chose a harder butter. So I have not worked with this one before either, but in my research, I felt like it would be a good choice. And as you can see, it is actually pretty hard to get out of the jug. So this one took me a little while to get all the butter into the container, and I actually had to do 2 containers because this butter took up a lot of space. So I didn't put that in there, but there's like the amount of butter this took compared to the others, it took up a lot more volume. So now I am using sweet almond oil. I actually used over half of this bottle of sweet almond oil. Well, actually, over the amount of what I needed, it was over half. But I ended up realizing I didn't have enough. So the last 2 ounces, I used avocado oil. So this was something I did offhand because I wasn't expecting not to have enough oil with it. So this is proof that you can make it work. So here is a look at the oils all together, and I'm going to go heat them up. And then this is what the heated oils look like, nice and smooth. Now I am making my colloidal oats mixture right here for after I make trays. So this right here is about 2.5 tablespoons of colloidal oats. Now I am using organic raw honey and using, I believe, around 3 teaspoons for the amount of soap I am making. I just mix them up together, the honey and the colloidal oats. And then I'm going to put some avocado oil to make it more like a paste. And here's a look at the oils mixed together from earlier. It's just so nice and smooth. All right, it is time to put the oils in my little pitcher here. And I'm gonna put that in. I also have my goat's milk right there on the side that I pre-measured to make sure I had all the amounts I had needed just right. Now I'm adding in the goat's milk, and as you can see when I stir it, it's almost like they become like little white beads. So I decided that to make it blend better, I'm going to go ahead and use my handheld mixer. And one tip that I learned from watching other YouTube videos and the research I did was they said to tap it to help get the bubbles out before you start. My tip was to tap it at the bottom to get the bubbles out. It started getting really loud when I said that. Now I am adding my 50-50 lye solution. So this right here is what made me feel more comfortable trying out cold processed soap, because you need lye, and this is pre-mixed water and lye together, and I add the extra water that is needed, and I very highly recommend it myself because it made it much more fun and less scary. The liquid I used was the goat's milk, so I actually didn't use water, but I did use goat's milk in the place of the liquid I needed for the 50-50 lye solution. And right now I'm about to mix. Right here, I realized that I need my air purifier to help with the smell. It's not super strong, but it's strong enough. Also, be sure to wear your goggles, and I also ended up putting a mask on, so make sure you have good way of getting ventilation. It seems to have come to trace, so now I'm going to add my oats and honey mixture right into the formula. Trace looked to me like it had more body, and it looks very slightly like batter. And right here I'm cleaning it off and detaching it so that I can keep some of the formula in the bowl. So here is the mold, and one trick that I did, because I did add honey and it has goat's milk, I didn't want it to actually almost like burn is what, I can't think of the word for it, but I didn't want it to scorch, I think. And with the lye and the sugar, it can scorch. So one of the tips that I was told was to put the mold in the freezer for 24 hours before you do your soap making. So I did that. So hopefully it worked. So this is the exciting part. As you can see, my hands are apparently shaking because I was like, it was a pretty cool, fun thing to do. So right here, I'm trying to get it all even, and then I wipe off the sides. so that there's not so much little splatters everywhere. And then I decide to make little designs on the sides so it's a little bit higher in the middle. So you can do whatever you like, but that's what I decided to do. Nice and simple, not too much for my first time. And when I was done, I put the lid that came with it on it and also put like a cloth over it to help insulate it even more.
So here it is. I have my first batch of cold processed soap right here. So nice. It actually traced really quickly. I was really excited. It didn't take me all that long. It actually took longer to cool down the oils than it did actually like making it. So if I can do it, I know you could try it, see what you think, because it's all a matter of like what you like to do. I personally enjoyed this, and I hope this encourages you to try it, or you could even try these soaps because I eventually plan on selling some myself. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments, or if you're a soap maker, if you have any comments about how I could do this better, I would like to know that too. So let me know, and thanks for tuning in to Lye by Becca.